This is breaking news.
I am truly sorry. I exercised poor judgment.
Less than 24 hours after Secretary of State Shemia Fagan apologized for her side job as a marijuana firm consultant, today Fagan announced she's resigning from the state's second highest elected position. Good evening. I'm Steve Dunn. Thanks for being here live from the state capitol in Salem right now. Fagan's resignation follows sharp criticism from both Republicans and Democrats. In a statement, Fagan said, in part, "It is clear that my actions have become a distraction from the important and critical work of the Secretary of State's office, protecting our state's democracy and ensuring faith in our elected leaders. These are the reasons I ran for this office. They are also the reasons I will be submitting my resignation today." Now, yesterday, Fagan admitted that she betrayed the public's trust by contracting with a company that is owned by her political donors and regulated by an agency that is under her audits division. The consulting job paid $10,000 per month with bonuses of $30,000 if she helped the company get licensed in other states. We can also tell you this. Governor Tina Kotek says she supports Fagan's decision to step down. She released a statement that reads in part, "It is essential that Oregonians have trust in their government. I believe this is a first step in restoring that trust. During the upcoming appointment process, my office will do everything possible to support the hardworking staff in the Secretary of State's office and ensure this will not disrupt the May 16th election." Now, the governor's office will initiate the process to identify and appoint a replacement. Deputy Secretary Cheryl Myers will serve as acting Secretary of State in the interim. Myers released a statement today reading, quote, "This is a resilient agency with strong division leadership and internal systems that can withstand change. We are ready to continue the important work of the Secretary of State's office during this transition." She went on to say this, "My first priority is to make sure Oregonians receive the customer service they deserve. This agency does such critical work, and it's our job to put Oregonians first during this transition." This is an unfortunate situation, she said, but a change of leadership will allow agency staff to continue the good work with less distraction moving forward. Now, I want to bring in Katu's Emily Gersh now. Emily has been down in Salem today as well. You've been getting reaction from Republicans. What are you hearing?
That's right, Steve. Well, Republicans say that Fagan violated a number of ethics violations, and it's renewed a push to give the legislature the power of impeachment. Now, Representative Shelley Bosshart Davis is calling on the legislature to advance House Joint Resolution 16. The resolution proposes a constitutional amendment that would give the House the power to ask the Senate for an impeachment process with a vote of 3/5 on the grounds that an elected official in the executive branch committed an act of malfeasance, corruption, neglect of duty, or other high crime or misdemeanor. In a tweet earlier today, Bosshart Davis wrote, quote, "Oregon must have impeachment powers to not rely on the media/political pressure for one to resign. Pass HJR 16 and get a procedure to impeach in egregious situations like this one." I asked her what makes the Secretary of State's actions egregious. This is what she said.
I think egregious that it would go outside the scope of her being an elected official and quite possibly using that position in order to fulfill duties outside the office. And so I think that when things like that come up, we should have some sort of power to be able to, as an entire legislative body, be able to step in and say, this is egregious, this isn't correct, and you need to step down.
Now, the resolution is currently in a House committee, but Senator Knopp says he is interested in working with House Republicans on creating a system of more legislative oversight. Steve?
You'll have more reaction, I know, from the GOP coming up at 6 o'clock tonight as well. Emily, thank you for that. As Democratic legislative leaders released a joint statement today, as elected leaders, we know that our work depends solely on our ability to hold the trust of the people we serve and represent. Secretary of State Fagan's severe lapses of judgment eroded trust with the people of Oregon, including legislators who depend on the work of the Audits Division for vital information on public policy. This breach of trust became too wide for her to bridge. Her decision to resign will allow the state to move on and rebuild trust. It was a tough getting Democrats to go on camera today. As I mentioned about Fagan today, I did interview Democrat Senator James Manning, who says he is friends with Fagan. He says he needs more information about what happened here and is still processing. He did say this, though.
One thing about the Secretary of State's position is values integrity is utmost important. And if, in fact, it is true that she resigned, she's resigning on her integrity, that she accepts that whatever happened or didn't happen, she's assuming and accepting responsibility for that. That says a lot for her.
Senator Manning also went on to say that he feels as though that the legislators aren't getting paid enough, and it's causing people to have to take other jobs as well, like Fagan did. He says something needs to happen in that regard. I interviewed Shemia Fagan way back when she first became a legislator. I found her to be very, very bright. In fact, I turned to my producer after the interview and I said, she may very well be governor someday. That looks like a long road now, but no matter where you sit, what side of the aisle, it's a sad day for the state of Oregon today. So back to you guys in the studio for further analysis.
Okay, Steve, thank you. We do have Pacific University political science professor Jim Moore in studio to talk more about this. Was that her only option to resign?
It probably was, and exactly what we heard in the story right there. When you lose the trust of the people who are elected with you, legislature or the other executives, that's all you have. That's how politics gets done, is those personal relationships, those trust relationships. We've seen them break down by party, we've seen them break down by other things, but clearly she had lost that. And we've seen this before. It was just a little over 8 years ago that Governor John Kitzhaber resigned, same thing. All of a sudden it was apparent he couldn't do his job because people that he was going to work with didn't trust him.
Fagan said she needed the side job to make extra money. Talk about how much she made as Secretary of State.
Sure, she makes $77,000 a year. At this point, in places like the Portland area and Salem, that's enough to rent a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, maybe. You're not going to be able to buy anything. She apparently had a lot of debt as well. So it's a big issue. Let's look at it this way. 40 years ago, there was a big raise for the governor of Oregon. The governor of Oregon's salary went from about $38,000 to about $55,000. Whew. These days, that salary would be about $160,000. The current governor makes $98,000. And so these salaries get caught up in the times. They are never adjusted. And it's a big issue with the legislature as well. There's a movement to try to raise legislator pay because, in fact, you have to be able to afford to be a public servant.
As we wrap up and you're talking about the governor, what is Tina Kotek's strategy with the replacement?
Sure, she's got 2 things she can do, and we'll watch and see what she chooses. Number 1, a caretaker. Someone who will just take the office until the next Secretary of State is put in place by us, the people, in an election next year. Second, she appoints somebody who she basically anoints as, you're now going to be a major player in Oregon politics. You might even run for governor someday or U.S. Senate. So we'll see what she chooses. We've seen both in the past 30 years.
Jim, thank you.
Thank you for that. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock. Of course, we'll continue to follow developments in this story. You can find additional reaction and analysis on our website right now, Katu.com.